In the heart of the Andromeda expanse, the planet Zorinthia gleamed like a jewel. Its skies were a molten swirl of violet and gold, oceans shimmered with bioluminescent plankton, and its cities were carved into crystalline cliffs that seemed to hum with energy. At the pinnacle of Zorinthia's civilization stood the Queen of Aeon, Valera, a ruler of unmatched intellect and grace. She was both revered and feared, for her mind could unravel the mysteries of time, and her voice could quell riots before they began. Yet, despite her brilliance, Valera was alone. Betrayal had carved a void around her. Her council, once loyal, had turned against her, whispering of conspiracies and false prophecies. The citizens, swayed by fear and rumors, labeled her a tyrant, even as she fought to keep Zorinthia from falling into chaos. Valera's chambers, high atop the crystalline spires, were silent except for the soft hum of energy flowing through the walls. She watched the horizon as a storm of violet clouds rolled across the twin suns. For weeks, she had been abandoned by those she trusted most. There was only one thought that haunted her every night. Am I truly alone in the universe? Her musings were interrupted by the sound of the teleportation pad activating, a rare occurrence, as few dared approach her these days. A figure shimmered into existence, tall, unarmored, yet radiating an aura of calm certainty. A human. "Greetings, Your Majesty," he said, his voice steady, carrying the cadence of someone who had walked through storms and survived. His name was Captain Elias Wren, a human explorer who had crossed galaxies in search of forgotten civilizations. Humans were rare in Zorinthia, and even rarer in the royal court. Most considered them fragile, ill-suited for the harsh politics of alien empires. But Elias was different. Valera narrowed her violet eyes. "You are far from your own kind. Why are you here, human?" "I am forsaken, not in need of saviors." Elias smiled faintly. "Perhaps you were never meant to be saved. But someone has to stand with you, even when the stars themselves seem to turn their backs." Valera felt an unfamiliar stir of hope. She had grown accustomed to solitude, but this human carried a conviction she had not seen in centuries. Against her better judgment, she allowed him to approach. The council chambers were in disarray when Elias and Valera arrived. Holographic projections flickered, showing intercepted transmissions of rebel forces plotting uprisings. Her former advisors had aligned themselves with a rogue faction from the outer colonies, intending to seize Zorinthia's energy cores, a resource capable of bending the laws of physics. "Your council believes you weak," Elias said, scanning the projections. "But weakness is often a matter of perception. Let them doubt you. We will show them the truth." Valera raised an eyebrow. "And what truth could a human possibly reveal to a kingdom that sees me as forsaken?" "Truth is not revealed, it is demonstrated," Elias replied. "Actions speak louder than words." The next day, the duo infiltrated the rebel-controlled city of Crithalon, a metropolis suspended over molten lava flows. The rebels had taken control of the energy cores and were preparing to weaponize them. Valera's voice had the power to calm, but not to command. She needed Elias. Together, they devised a plan. Elias would use his human ingenuity and unconventional tactics, exploiting weaknesses the Zorinthians overlooked. Valera would employ her psychic resonance to neutralize the core's energy fields. Under the veil of the twin moon's shadows, they moved through the city. Valera's mind extended like a net, sensing the rebels' fear, their hesitation. Elias, agile and unassuming, navigated the corridors with precision, bypassing traps that would have ensnared even the most elite Zorinthian soldiers. In the heart of the energy core chamber, they confronted the leader of the rebellion, a former advisor named Zerath Vorn, whose loyalty had crumbled under ambition. "Valera," Zerath hissed, "you are a relic. Zorinthia does not belong to you anymore." Valera's eyes flared. "Zorinthia belongs to its people, and I will not let you destroy it for your own greed." Elias stepped forward, holding a device that amplified psychic resonance, a human adaptation of Valera's own powers. He pressed it to the chamber floor. The energy cores responded, pulsing in synchrony with Valera's voice. Zerath's attacks faltered, his weapons rendered inert. "You see," Elias said quietly, "even when they forsake you, someone can stand by you." With a final wave of her hand, Valera neutralized the cores, disarming the rebellion. The citizens of Crithalon, witnessing her strength combined with Elias's ingenuity, began to rally. The tide had shifted. News of the victory spread like wildfire. Valera's enemies in the council quivered, realizing that their betrayal had failed. The queen, once forsaken, now commanded not only respect but renewed loyalty. And Elias? Humans had always been underestimated, but here was proof that courage and determination transcended species. Yet the battle was not over. Though the rebels were scattered, Zerath had fled to the Void Front, a perilous region of space where reality itself twisted under gravitational anomalies. Valera knew she could not chase him alone. "You will go?" Elias asked, sensing her resolve. "I must," she said. "Zorinthia's future depends on ending this threat. But I cannot navigate the Void Front alone. The currents of space there are unpredictable." Elias's eyes met hers. "Then we face it together." The journey through the Void Front was treacherous. Stars bent like liquid, black holes whispered, and time fractured into loops. Many ships had ventured here and never returned. Valera and Elias piloted a Zorinthian cruiser, enhanced by human engineering and psychic stabilization fields. Days blurred. They encountered anomalies that twisted their perception of reality, visions of possible futures, echoes of past battles, and whispers of despair. Yet, Elias remained unwavering. Where Valera's mind faltered under the weight of temporal distortions, Elias provided clarity. He reminded her that even in a universe of chaos, purpose could anchor the soul. Finally, they found Zerath, cloaked in a shimmering rift of warped space. He had harnessed the Void Front's energy to create a weapon capable of erasing entire planets from existence. "You cannot stop me, Queen," he screamed, as the rift pulsed with destructive force. Valera reached out with her mind, focusing all her psychic energy into Elias's device. The cruiser shuddered, reality bending around them. But Elias's human intuition, improvising, adjusting, taking risks that no Zorinthian protocol would allow, amplified her powers beyond their natural limit. The rift collapsed in on itself, consuming Zerath and his weapon, leaving only silence. Valera gasped, leaning against the control panel. Elias's hand found hers. "We did it," he said simply. "Yes," she replied, a rare smile breaking across her face. "Together." When they returned to Zorinthia, the people welcomed them as heroes. Valera was no longer a forsaken queen. The bond she and Elias shared had become a symbol of unity, not only between two beings, but between species. Humans and Zorinthians had discovered a shared strength in cooperation, ingenuity, and trust. The council, chastened and grateful, pledged renewed loyalty. Valera, once isolated, now ruled with allies by her side, her wisdom tempered by the courage of those who dared to stand with her when all others had abandoned hope. In the quiet of her restored palace, Valera reflected on the human who had changed her fate. "You are unlike anyone I have known," she said. Elias shrugged, modest yet resolute.
Perhaps.
Or perhaps I'm just proof that, even in the darkest times, someone can choose to stand by what is right. Valera's eyes shimmered. You have not only saved me, Elias. You have saved Zorinthia and reminded me that even a queen can find allies when she least expects it. And for the first time in what felt like an eternity, Valera allowed herself to believe in the future, not alone, but with someone by her side, a human who had chosen to fight not for glory, but for loyalty, justice, and the bond that transcended stars. In the years that followed, stories of Valera and Elias became legend. Humans and Zorinthians forged new alliances, exploring galaxies together. The twin suns of Zorinthia shone brighter than ever, reflecting a universe where trust could bridge worlds and courage could overcome even the deepest betrayals. Valera, once forsaken, had discovered that the strength of one mind, no matter how brilliant, could be magnified immeasurably when a willing heart stood beside it. And Elias, the human who had crossed galaxies to find her, became a symbol of hope for all who dared to believe that no one was ever truly alone. In the end, the queen was no longer forsaken. She had found her equal, her partner, and through him, the universe itself seemed to whisper a promise that even in the vast void, bonds could be formed, and through them, empires could endure. After Zerath's defeat and the collapse of the Void Front Rift, Valera and Elias returned to Zorinthia aboard their cruiser. The journey back was quiet, filled with the kind of silence that follows a storm, one heavy with reflection, yet light with relief. Valera looked out at the violet gold skies of her homeworld, the crystalline cities glowing softly under the twin suns. For the first time in centuries, she felt safe. When they arrived at the palace, the people erupted in cheers. Citizens poured into the streets, waving banners that read, "Long live the Queen," and Zorinthia united. The council, humbled and wary, knelt before Valera, acknowledging their errors and pledging loyalty anew. Elias stepped beside her, and the people saw not just a human explorer, but a hero who had stood with their queen when all others had forsaken her. Children pointed at him, eyes wide with awe. Scholars debated his strategies, and soldiers admired his courage. Humans, once thought weak, were now celebrated as allies. Valera turned to Elias, her violet eyes reflecting both gratitude and admiration. "You have not only saved me," she said softly, "but you have reminded all of Zorinthia that loyalty and courage can come from the most unexpected places." Elias smiled, his hand brushing hers. "We did it together. And this is only the beginning." Over the following months, Zorinthia transformed. Where betrayal and fear had once taken root, trust and collaboration flourished. Valera reformed the council, inviting those who had remained loyal and opening positions to outsiders, including humans who had journeyed across galaxies to assist. She established new protocols to ensure no citizen would feel unheard or abandoned, and the energy cores were secured under shared stewardship, their immense power now a symbol of unity rather than domination. Elias became a permanent envoy between humans and Zorinthians, a bridge across species and galaxies. He and Valera worked side by side, not just as queen and advisor, but as partners united by respect, trust, and shared purpose. Years passed. Under Valera's renewed reign, Zorinthia prospered like never before. Trade routes expanded, technology advanced, and cultural exchange enriched every corner of society. Tales of the Queen and the Human Protector became legend, told in songs, holographic dramas, and oral stories across galaxies. Yet even as peace returned, Valera never forgot the loneliness she had endured, nor the moment She realized a single ally could change everything. She often found herself in the palace gardens, watching the twin suns dip below the horizon, feeling the quiet presence of Elias beside her. "Do you ever regret coming here?" she asked one evening as they observed the sky turning molten violet. Elias shook his head. "Never. You were forsaken, yes, but no one should ever face the universe alone. I stood by you because it was the right thing to do, and because sometimes the stars choose to send someone exactly when they are needed." Valera smiled, a rare, genuine smile that lit her features with warmth. "Then perhaps the universe has finally given me hope. Not just for myself, but for all of Zorinthia, and for anyone brave enough to stand for what they believe in." And in that moment, as the twin suns set and the night sky shimmered with distant galaxies, Valera felt it fully, the profound truth that a ruler is never truly alone when someone chooses to stand by her, and that courage and loyalty can span even the infinite void. Together, they looked toward the future, a future where Zorinthia would thrive, where humans and Zorinthians would explore new stars together, and where no queen, no matter how brilliant, would ever be forsaken again. For Valera and Elias, the universe was no longer cold and indifferent. It was a place of possibility, hope, and enduring bonds. And sometimes that is all it takes to change everything.